All right, guys. Oh, what a gorgeous, gorgeous day today, huh? Wow. I love days like today. We don't get enough of them. Weather was perfect, temperature perfect, right? Just a little bit of pollen, not too bad. I don't know, Chooch, you want to go have supper time with Daddy? I'll open that. And yeah, just really nice. All right, we're going to start today in child's pose. So whether your knees are wide apart or knees together, just take a minute and settle in. If you're not really ready to have your head touching the ground, maybe grab your block and just let your forehead rest on the block. But I don't want it just to be hanging in space. Find something to really rest upon and just begin to breathe, relax, settle in. So there's a yoga practice called Baptiste Yoga. And there's a book that Baron Baptiste, who's the creator, wrote. It's called Perfectly Imperfect. And I opened it up today, and there was a section on drishti. And we've talked about this before, about where our gaze goes. And of course, I just lost it. I love that. All right, take some deep breaths. It was really, really good. And I wanted to share it with you. But unfortunately, I seem to have lost the page. And I'm just going to kind of sum up what he said, right? Which is kind of has to do with where we choose to look and what view we choose to look from, right? So let's say we're standing at the Grand Canyon. The view, if we were standing in the valley of the Grand Canyon, right, would be very different than the view if you were standing on the edge, right? And that's kind of what he wants us to think about. Found it. So he says, if you want to change your mind, change your gaze. Again, if you stand at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, it looks much different than if you stand at the edge of the upper rim looking in. Just like turning upside down, standing on your head, the world appears vastly different than when you're standing on your 2 feet. Where you stand, both in your physical space and within your body, impact what you see. It impacts what is known as the observer. We talk about that a lot. The you that sees with neutral vision. Drishti allows for a physical grounding and allows us to inquire from the observer perspective. It allows us to ask, am I seeing this experience from a default lens filtered through my past experiences? Or am I trying on new views? Setting your physical gaze creates the space to shift your vision from default to neutral at any moment. So I love that. So maybe thinking while you're practicing today about your drishti, where is your gaze going? Right? If you change your mind, change your gaze. All right. Take another breath here. We've sort of hung out a little bit. You may be starting to feel this a little in your hips. Take some full deep breaths in and out through the nose. If you'd like to exhale through the mouth, feel free. And then begin to energize this child's pose. So when I say energize, I mean like right? Let's kind of get up maybe on those fingertips, right? Let's feel that back really starting to stretch out, have a nice regal long neck. Draw those sits bones down, pull the belly in. And let's lift up a little bit, and we're going to walk our fingers over to the left. So we're just going to lift ourselves up. Those fingertips are going to come off of the mat on the left side. Take that right hip off that heel. So we're rounding into that side body, breathing here, noticing any tension maybe through the neck or the throat area. And then on your next inhale, lift yourself up, come back through center. And then we'll take that same stretch over to the right side. So as we sort of fall back over to that right side, let that left hip slide. A little bit more stretch in that left side body. Again, we're staying up on those fingertips. And then inhale, come back through center. Good. On your next breath, press up, find a table. Maybe just a little seshing of those hips side to side. And then we'll take some cat-cow. So we stretch the side body. Let's stretch the back and front. Exhale, draw that chin into the chest, round. Inhale, release the spine, gaze forward. Let those elbow creases start to move forward. Your drishti, your gaze is forward facing. Exhale, belly in. Let those eyeballs come up into, right, like all the way up into those hip creases. And then inhale, open, gaze is forward. One last time, round, pull that belly in. And inhale, good. Go ahead and coming into that neutral spine, tuck those toes under and find downward facing dog. So press up, right? Pedal out those feet. Take your time here. And there's no rush. So move slowly, right? Like you're moving through pluff mud or marshmallows or anything that your heart desires. Really working into one hip, then the other, and softening those heels, yeah? So downward facing dog, all over body stretch. Find stillness and let that gaze lift. How are you feeling? Check in. Let's walk our hands all the way back to our feet, coming into a standing forward fold. So our feet are a little wide. This should feel really nice. Maybe a little side movement, little swaying, maybe shaking of the shoulders, shaking of the head. On your next inhalation, find that half lift here. So belly's pulled in, crown of the head reaching for the front of the room or for the front of your mat. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, walk your hands all the way back out, coming into your downward facing dog. Inhale, find a plank, top of a push-up. Hold and breathe. And then exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. On your next inhalation, walk your hands back to your feet. And again, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. Bend into the knees, reach your hands all the way up to the sky. And then I want you to press your palms as if you were standing on the ceiling. Imagine yourself upside down. We're standing on our feet, but pretend your hands are on the floor, right? Handstand, shoulder blades melting down the back. Take one more breath. And then exhale, palms through heart center. Hinge at the hips, standing forward fold. Bend the knees, walk yourself back out, find your downward facing dog. Full deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, flow forward, find your plank, top of a push-up. One more breath, exhale. Inhale, press back, downward facing dog. Slowly begin to walk your hands back to your feet. Find that forward fold. Let that gaze lift. Inhale, take it up halfway. Exhale, release. Bend the knees. Inhale, root to rise. Arms stretch up and over the head. Drop those sits bones down. Take those palms so that they're imagining them pressing into the ceiling or into the floor. So we're flexing into the wrist. Draw those shoulders away from the ears. One last breath. Exhale, palms through heart center. Hinge at the hips, standing forward fold. Bend the knees, walk your hands forward. Find your downward facing dog again. Inhale, find your plank. Exhale onto the knees, roll all the way down onto the belly. Forehead comes to the floor. Hands come up underneath the shoulders. Lift those kneecaps, but not the toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Forehead touches down on the floor. Tuck the toes under. Press up through tabletop or plank and back into downward facing dog. Looking forward, inhale, exhale, bring that right foot between your hands. Coming into a high lunge here, reach your arms up and over the head. Check in with that left hip, right? We want it to draw forward, press back actively through that back heel. Arms are gonna be up and over the head. Good, and from here, as we drop into that right knee, we're gonna exhale, left knee, either to the mat or just hovering. And then inhale, press it back. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lift. Again, exhale, hover. Inhale and lift. Good. See if you can't come all the way down here. It's a challenge. Find your knee to the floor. Untuck the toe. Take your time. Those arms are still lifted. Big breath here. Exhale, open up to the right. Inhale, right arm sweeps up to meet the left. Open up again to the right. One more time. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, open up. This time we're gonna hold here, drop that back hand, and then stretch that left arm up and over the head, gazing behind us. Our drishti is back into the past. Beautiful. Reach that right hand back up to meet the left. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Untuck the back toe, lift up, step the right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Inhale, find your plank. Exhale. You can do our chaturanga or you can just roll all the way down onto the belly. Inhale, lift up into a baby cobra or an upward facing dog. Exhale, forehead to the floor and press it back, downward facing dog. Find the breath, big deep breath. If you're tired, you can take a child's pose or table just for a moment. And we're gonna do that same little sequence on the other side. So we're gonna bring a little bit more weight into that right foot and step the left foot between our hands. We're gonna inhale, find our way up into our lunge. Again, squaring off those hips, right? As deep a bend as we can get into that left knee. Lift, really reach that thigh up and away from the floor on that back end. Big breath here, exhale. Down, inhale, lift it back. Keep looking forward, your gaze is soft. Listen to the rhythm of your breath. Last one. And then all the way down we go. Ready? Nice and slow. Let that knee touch down, untuck the toes. Big breath in here. Exhale, open. Inhale, sweep that left arm up. Exhale, open. Little bit of shoulder work here. Sweep that arm up. Exhale as we open, drop that back hand, and then let that right arm reach up. Gaze back. It might feel a little weeble wobbly. That's okay. Try to keep that right arm nice and straight, right? No crazy bend in the elbow. Beautiful. Reaching that left arm up to meet the right. Let's exhale. We're going to take those hands to the floor. We're going to lift that back leg and we're going to step the right foot up. Hold here. Feel that beautiful stretch in the back of the legs. Notice where you're looking. Are your eyes darting all over the place, or can you soften your drishti? Can you soften it to one spot and just let it stay there? Nice, long, deep breaths. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and release. Go ahead and bring those knees together. Bring those thighs together. Bend the knees. Find chair, Utkatasana. Maybe the hands can be a prayer. If you're getting a little tired, or they can just be, again, alongside the ears. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, let those palms float to heart center. Close the eyes. Now we're gazing internally. Big, full, deep breaths. In and out. Last one. Inhale, open the eyes. Good. Extend those arms up and over the head. Exhale. Hinge from the hips. Standing forward fold. Bend the knees. We're going to step that left foot back. We're going to drop into that heel. And we're going to stretch the chest forward. So we're taking our time. We're actually moving into warrior two, but we're going to really spend time. How are we getting there, right? We can just pop up. We can think about actively pushing our front foot forward, pressing into that back leg, and you're going to feel that belly turning on. So lift the belly away from the knee like we just did when we were starting out in child's pose, right? We're starting to get active, lifting away from that floor. Now press down into that foot and slowly rise up. Good. Take that hand to that left thigh, turn it out. Then deeply into that right knee, and then find your gaze over those front fingers. I really want you to root into your warrior two. So pressing down, pressing out. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. Holding steady in the legs, reverse the warrior, right arm reaching up. And then taking it back to warrior two. Again, reaching up. And finding warrior two. Last time. Warrior two. Good. Go ahead and sweep those arms up, turn onto the toes, and we're back into our lunge. We're going to hold here. This time we're going to straighten the front leg and bend it. Keep going. Just a little different. Yep. Good. Now we're going to find a little balance challenge here. So as we bring our hands to heart center, you're going to take a little hinge forward with the chest and see if you can't draw that left foot up. Just hold it here. Good. And then release it down. Inhale, arms reach up and over the head. Exhale, hinge at the hips, standing forward fold. Beautiful. Bend the knees, step that right foot back. Again, taking our time, right? Turn those toes down. Now actively root down through those feet. Even look at that front foot. Take that knee out. Begin to feel that opening in the hip. Lift the belly and then slowly move your way up, yeah? Open up those hips. Drop into that knee, square off. We wanna make sure that our whole torso is in line. Gazing over those left fingers, we're breathing. Feel that steadiness, feel that energy moving. Let that gaze be soft, like you're looking at nothing really. Everything just sort of comes into a blur. And the next breath, reverse the warrior and take it to warrior two. Keep those legs nice and strong. One more time. Holding our warrior two. Sweep that right arm up to meet the left as we come into that lunge. All right. Bring those palms together at heart center. You may have to kind of move that back foot in a little bit, right? Because it was a wide one. And then bring that right foot up. Hip height. Hold here. Trust yourself, yeah? Trust yourself. And release that right foot next to the left. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release, bend, step or hop back, plank pose. Your way through a flow, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Up dog or baby cobra. Exhale takes you back to downward facing dog. We're going to inhale onto our hands and knees and exhale into child's pose. Nice full deep breaths in child's pose. Soften the face, soften the head, soften the eyes behind the eyelids, right? Let those eyes close. Clean slate. Every pose is a beginning. Last breath. Inhale, let's make our way back up onto our hands and knees. Tuck our toes under, press up, downward facing dog. Root down through those fingers. Feel the base of each of those fingers pressing into the mat. All right, we're gonna let that left foot stay heavy and the right leg is gonna extend up and back, finding a three-legged dog. Press out through the heel and then draw the knee into the chest. Step the right foot between your hands. We're gonna pop that left foot in and turn the toes out. We're gonna find warrior one now. So as you bend into that front knee, square off those hips and then extend the arms up and over the head. So warrior one feels a little awkward, right? Your legs are like train tracks. So there's a width there, right? Hips width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. Pulling that left hip forward. We're just going to breathe and hold here as we drop into those shoulders. So the work can be with the arms now, right? We're grounding through those feet, bringing the palms together with the arms straight, right? And then lifting them up as high as they can go comfortably. Or if we just don't have that, we can always keep them apart. But I want you to energize your arms. Find a little an arm challenge here as we hold our warrior one. And notice what's happening as you're working really hard. Notice what's happening with your gaze. Sometimes it gets a little difficult to just stay put, doesn't it? We get all squirmy. That's what our mind is doing also. So we want to keep that gaze soft so the mind stays soft. All these things we have to think about while we're practicing. Last breath here. All right. We're going to take this forward into a warrior three. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging with the arms remaining forward. You can bring the hands to prayer if you like. Go ahead and hinge and extend that leg back behind you as if you were flying. So again, arms of prayer is going to be a little bit easier. Arms straight out in front, where our gaze is at the floor. Soften that standing leg, right? The more you can take that left hip down and press out through that back heel. Take another breath. If you flow out of the pose, that's okay. Just lift the leg again. So we're going to come forward just like we did before. We're going to stand straight up and bring that left knee into a balance. I know. Keep that gaze going. Now we're going to find chair. So we're going to take that ankle across the knee and sit down. You can do it. Nice deep breaths. Keep sitting. And inhale. I want you to stand up and just let that foot slide all the way down next to the other foot. So our legs are crossed. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, palms through heart center. Hinge into this forward fold with those pinky toes, right, alongside one another. Squeeze those thighs together. Squeeze the knees together. Walk your fingertips forward and see if you can't lift your back leg. Last breath here. Go ahead and drop that right foot next to the left. You're probably going to be a little bit over to the right side of the mat. That's okay. Coming into a standing forward fold. Bend the knees and roll all the way up through the spine, standing. Good. We're going to inhale, arms up over the head. Take hold of that left wrist with the right hand and take it over to the right. Little Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, last one. And exhale. Good. Coming up through center. Take hold of the right wrist. Big inhale. Exhale to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. And exhale. Good. On your inhalation, reach those arms up. Exhale. Find your forward fold. Let's bend the knees again. Step, hopper, jump back, plank pose. Find a flow. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. A dog or baby cobra. And we again find ourselves in downward facing dog. Breathe. Right foot stays heavy, left leg reaches back. Step that left foot between your hands. Pop your right foot in, turn it out. Work on this. Take that right hip forward and rise up into your warrior one. Find that strength right in the base first. And then with the arms, make some choices. If you bring the palms together, take the opposite thumb on top. Notice your drishti, notice your gaze. Can you be quiet? Moving into our warrior three, begin to hinge forward, lift that back leg. Where's our drishti now? It's at the floor, right? Chest is lifted. We're rebounding away from the floor. Slowly, as you're ready, begin to come forward. Lift that right knee. The steadier you are, the easier it is. Cross that left ankle. Find your one-legged chair. Sit low. Nice, full, deep breath. Last breath here. Go ahead and begin to stand up and let that right foot slide down next to the left. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, palms through heart center as you hinge. Nice, full, deep breaths. Walk those fingertips forward. Look forward. Shift your weight forward. Lift that left leg high. And exhale, take that left foot next to the right. Nice, standing forward fold. Let's go ahead and bend the knees, maybe move to the middle of the mat. If you're in over to the left like I am, find your way back, find your plank. Another vinyasa if you like. We're gonna actually meet in child's pose. So as you're ready, find child's pose and breathe. Close the eyes, look inward. If you feel like swaying into the back a little bit, little side to side motion, that might be nice. If I were there, I'd be giving you a massage right now. You can imagine that, but I'm not, but you can imagine. I like to imagine that sometimes, like what it would feel like, right? Having a adjustment. I always feel really good in our practice. It's just been so long. How does this child's pose feel? Does it feel the same? Does it feel different than the way than when we started? It's just a question. There's really no answer. Good. Let's go ahead and lift ourselves up. Again, coming into that table, we're going to find a little gate pose. So go ahead and kick that right foot off of the mat and step on the left. We're actually going to start in a little side plank here, right? So let that left arm extend up. Notice what's happening. Roll onto the big toe side of your back foot for a second. Now press it all the way down. See if you can't lift yourself up a little bit higher. Take that palm, see if you can't draw it up and over the head, palm facing down. And then see if you can't lift the leg coming into a balance. At any point, if you're like, this is too much, just stop. Right, we're gonna take this just a little bit further. We're gonna bend that back leg. We're gonna take that arm back up, right? Rotate the arm so we can reach back to find the foot. Now we're gonna find a little back bend here. And the way we do that is we press the foot out away and we kick our hips forward, right? So my chest is moving forward, my shoulder back, pulling my foot away from my body. Now slowly release. We're going to bring that foot back down, press down, and find your way up, right? Good. Square yourself off here. Left hand to the left leg. Right arm reaching up. And then we take it over to the left side. Inhale, take it back. Release that right hand, followed by the left. Let's go ahead and bring those knees back around to the front of the mat. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So that left knee is going to come off. We're going to press into that right foot. As you work here, right? Take that arm up and over the head. I had to move so I faced you. I wasn't the other way. Reach and extend if that feels good, right? If it doesn't, don't do it. Maybe you balance here, right? If you wanted to stay right here, that's totally fine. We're going to bend that back leg, reach that arm up and around, grab the foot, and find that nice stretch. Last breath. Gently release. Good. Press down into that foot and propel yourself up. Let that right hand come to the right leg. Inhale, lift arm up. And exhale, take it over. Last few breaths right here. Inhale, take it up. Let both hands come to the floor. Again, finding our tabletop. Cat and cow. Little movement here, the spine. And we're just going to press those toes back and find plank pose. And then we're going to come all the way down onto the belly, letting that forehead rest. Bring your palms alongside you with the whatever cheek you feel like on the mat. Breathe. Go ahead and lift the head. We're going to take this up to the other side. Or even. Sometimes it's nice to really press that temple down, right? Especially if you have like a little headache. All right, we're going to come into Sphinx pose tonight. So I want you to bring your feet out a little bit wider on the mat. I want you to come up onto forearms and elbows. Now, remember, if you have some lower back issues, I want you to lift your hands, take them out to the side, and then put them down so your fingertips are in the corners of the mat. And if it's still a little bit feeling a little, uncomfortable, take the elbows a little bit further in front of the shoulders. If you can bring the shoulders and the elbows in the same line, that's fine. Right, so we're just sort of finding our little hand placement here. Slowly press down. So we're lengthening that low back. We're pulling the belly in. And then on your inhale, draw your shoulder blades back. Bring the chest forward. Your chin is going to be parallel to the floor. Our hands are tracking away from us, right? We're opening up the chest. Shoulders back, away from the ears. And we're just looking straight ahead. And we're breathing here. And we're going to notice that we have to use that core and maybe a little bit in the glute, right? We're not squeezing like a nut in our butt, right? But we're squeezing a little bit. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. You might feel a little bit of shaking going on. That's okay. That means you're actually working in the pose. All right, slowly release your forehead into your hands. Job well done. Last breath. Bring those hands up underneath the shoulders. Let's press ourselves up into a table. And we're just going to find our way into a seat. So start by bringing those feet together. Let's do a little cobbler pose here just because it feels really good. And I think we'll do a little I don't know, I'm feeling a little yin-like at the moment. So let the heels be away from the body, right? In the yin version of this, we call it butterfly. And we're not really worried about pressing those knees down to the floor. So just let them be comfortable. We're going to slowly drop the chin into the chest. And we're just going to let ourselves round forward. So wherever we stop, we stop. The belly can be soft. Our eyes can be closed. Listen to the breath. What can you see through your eyelids? Slowly begin to roll yourself back up. That felt good, didn't it? Close the knees like you close a book. And then let those feet come all the way out. Good. We're going to open our legs. So it doesn't matter how wide they go, right? That's not really the whole point of a forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. You know, some people are very Gumby and they've got lots of stretchy going on in here. Others of us are not so much. So find what works for you. If you want to sit up on that blanket, right? Bring those hips up a little bit higher. That's always an option. You can fold it in half, right? Kind of wiggle your way up on it. Let those sits bones kind of fall off. I want you to sit up nice and tall. Bring those heels, press them down into the earth. Right? Energetically, we're lifting those toes so those feet are nice and flexed here. And then reach your arms all the way up over the head. Feel that side body lifting. Feel your rib cage lifting away from the hips. Take another deep breath in and then exhale, hinge forward. I want you to feel this for a minute. Gaze is literally out at the floor in front of you. Think of a nice regal long neck here. And then inhale, sit up. Hopefully you felt that right in here. Take a deep breath in, exhale, hinging forward. Next inhale, lift up. This time we're going to go all the way down. So big inhale, exhale, hinge, and just let those arms release, right? So this is our work. We're not rolling like we just did. We're drawing the shoulder blades back. We're finding our way down to the floor, but with our back nice and straight. So we may not get very far. Eyes can be opened or closed. You can even maybe move just slightly and feel where that hinge is coming from, right? It's a fold and not a bend. Another few breaths. Go ahead and walk yourself up. Good. Let's just go ahead and close those feet. Maybe do a little shake. All right. So we're going to bend that left knee and pull it in. That right foot is nice and flexed, and we're just going to cross it over, pressing down. So I'm really stepping on that foot. Maybe just take a minute and you can just kind of say hello to that hip. Right, taking that knee in and out. Pull it all the way into the chest and wrap your right arm around it. If you want, take hold of that wrist, right? Just kind of give it a little bit of a leverage here. Ooh, that feels good. All right, here's our inhale. On your exhale, left hand comes back and we take that little twist over to the left. Slowly make your way back through center. Let that knee just fall right on top of the other knee. Sitting up nice and tall here. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Find that midpoint in the body and then exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, let's go ahead and walk it back up. Take your hands back behind you and just go ahead and undo those legs. Take them side to side. Good. All right. Sitting back up again. And those feet together. We're going to inhale, reach those arms up. And this time, instead of the wide-legged fold, we're going to do the Paschimottanasana with our feet together. Maybe you're looking down. Maybe your eyes are closed. Find length. Find your breath. Energize the back. Slowly making your way back up. Bend into that right knee. Cross it over. Just kind of stepping in. A little bit of hello, hip. Hello. Take that left arm around. Really squeeze it into the body here, yeah? Sit up nice and tall. Now twist to the right. Make sure that the toes flex out in front, right? Don't let that leg go all loosey-goosey. Slowly making our way back through center. Cross that, let's let that knee come on top. Maybe you have to reset yourself. Deep breath. Exhale, take it forward. Squeezing those inner thighs together, softening where you can. Last breath here. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring those hands back behind you. Good. Take that right foot, bring it back into position. Left foot, we're going to find a reverse table. So those fingertips are pointing towards your booty. Bend into the elbows, lean back. Lift your seat, pull it towards your heels, and then rise up. Imagine I could put a platter or plate on your belly. And then exhale. Good. So from here, we're going to find our way into boat pose, right? So we can just reach those hands out in front. And we can take those legs up. We can put them behind our thighs if that feels better, right? Just find whatever version of boat works for you tonight. Maybe you can straighten your legs, bring those arms out to the side. And slowly, let's come into canoe. So those feet are going to go out. We're going to begin to lean back, balance. Can you lift up an inch and lower? I know, feel it in the core. It feels good. Lift. One more. We're doing Pilates. Exhale. Let it go. Oh, you can make noise. It's okay. Enjoy this just moment on the back. Not quite ready for Shavasana, but we can feel what that's coming, right? We can feel it coming. Feels good. Take another breath. All right, we're going to move into some bridge poses, and we're going to do that nice little cascading rolling bridge tonight. So bring those feet in up underneath those feet pull in towards the buttocks. I can't even speak. Bring those hands down alongside you. Yeah. So we're just going to start with an inhale, lifting the arms up and back over the head. Stay here just for a breath and then begin to lift up. Lifting our spine one vertebrae at a time. Lift as high as you can. And then on your exhale, start with your hands. Lift the hands as they come up. Begin to let the spine come down one at a time until our hands float all the way down. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the pelvis. And exhale, rolling down. Do a few more on your own, really matching your breath to your movement. Inhaling, arms up and over the head. And exhaling, noticing where you, like that spine just wants to sort of come down in one piece, right? It's not always a smooth flow, one at a time. Sometimes it's like a thud, right? Couple more. All right, at the end of your last one, let's find a block for Viparita Karani, or you could just take your fingers right up underneath you, like on either side of your sits bone, and squeeze. If you don't want to use the block, or just put the block underneath your sacrum and lift up your legs. All right, taking a nice gentle inversion tonight. If you are up for anything else, you can take it. Headstand, shoulder stand. Right, any stand. And just breathe. Letting those legs just enjoy this different perspective, right? Just like our drishti, just like our gaze, our body is finding a different view. Letting all that tension just melt out of us. Imagine just like cascading water down our feet, down our legs, away from the body. And slowly bring your feet back to the floor. Let's go ahead and take that block out. And it's yogi's choice tonight for a little twist. So take whatever twist you feel like. We're just going to let those knees fall to the left as we look over the right shoulder. We're going to make sure that whatever leg position we took, we're going to do the same one on the other side. Inhale, bring the feet back through center, right? And then make your way to the right side. Again, whether the legs are crossed or not, just take that bend to the opposite side. And as you're ready, coming back up through center. And then making our way into our last pose, our last asana, Shavasana. So letting those feet come wide on the mat. Those arms resting a little bit away from the side body. Feel held here, supported. If you need a couple of deep breaths, take them now. And then just let the breath settle back into the unconscious. Just enjoy these next few moments relaxation. Slowly bring your attention back. Following the inhale, following it back out to the exhale. Beginning to make some small movements with fingers, toes. Taking deeper breaths, reawakening the body. Bring the feet to the floor. Roll to your right. As you're ready, finding your way upright into a comfortable seat. Take one hand to the chest and the other hand on top. It doesn't matter which one. Just a little love on yourself for coming to the mat, doing something healthy, something good, honoring anything that you felt or noticed, and letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. And in this space, I'll hold for you and I'll say namaste, which means the light in me sees, recognizes, and honors that light in you. Thank you, ladies. Hope you have a beautiful night. And I will see you, I hope, on Sunday.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you. Good night, ladies.
Good night. Have a great weekend.
You too.